Imagine, the year is 1865. The Civil War has just ended. You now enter the time period following, known as the Reconstruction era, a time period in which made many attempts to confront the issues of equality in our nation and reunite the former 11 Union states that had seceded. 1863. Abraham Lincoln had passed the Emancipation Proclamation, which had made all slaves in rebelling states free. The 13th Amendment gets ratified. This paved the way for the 14th Amendment because Congress believed that they should next define citizenship amongst people and equal protection for American citizens. Former President Abraham Lincoln had unfortunately been assassinated, which had then made Vice President Andrew Johnson the new president. Johnson allowed new state governments to be created. The former seceded states were not allowed to secede and continue the practice of slavery, but they were allowed to handle their own affairs. This led to Black Codes. Introduced by Senate Judiciary Chairman Lyman Trumbull of Illinois, the Civil Rights Act, also known as an act which protected all persons in the United States in their civil rights and furnished the means of their vindication, had been published on April 9, 1866. It had been enacted by the 39th United States Congress and would also be referred to as Public Law 3926, 14, SDAT 27. What did this act do, you might ask? Well, it guaranteed basic economic rights to create contracts, sue, and inherit, purchase, lease, sell, or own property. It also guarantees citizens the right to engage in business and give evidence in court. This act had also sought to overrule Black Codes. Stated by the act, all persons born in the United States, with the exception of American Indians, were hereby declared to be citizens of the United States, and that such citizens of every race and color shall have the same right as is enjoyed by white citizens. Citizenship had now been defined, and denying any person the rights of citizenship depending on their race had now become illegal. Radical Republicans saw this act as a step forward to create an equal society. Many believed Johnson would sign the bill as a compromise against numerous other bills presented to him by Radical Republicans, but instead, he vetoed it. Sadly, Andrew Johnson had unfortunately rejected the legislation. In his veto to the Senate, he states, "I regret that the bill which has passed both houses of Congress, entitled An Act to Protect All Persons in the United States in Their Civil Rights and Furnish the Means of Their Vindication, contains provisions which I cannot approve, consistently with my sense of duty to the whole people and my obligations to the Constitution of the United States. I am, therefore, constrained to return it to the Senate with my objections to its becoming law." His discriminatory views and intense stubborn beliefs on states' rights had caused him to reject this bill. But wait, what is this you say? Congress overcame the president's veto by having 2/3 majority in both houses vote for act to become law? His veto was then overruled and the act became official. This had marked the first time that a presidential veto on a major piece of legislation had been overturned. His veto had then led him to being impeached due to the conflicting point of views between him and Radical Republicans. Once again, another large landmark to be put down in history was made. This act had marked the first time that a presidential veto on a major piece of legislation had been overturned. Ever since its publication, citizens everywhere had put it forth to test the act's central provisions when it comes to a citizen's social and political rights. Economically, this act has had a distinct impact in history. Allowing people to participate in business affairs and sue other individuals has benefited many throughout time and allows citizens to exercise their rights. However, this act did not accomplish the idea of political or social rights, but it helped society take one more step forward in that direction. Thank you for watching our cartoon, and we hope that you have now learned more about the importance of the Civil Rights Act of 1866 in history.
Bye!